So a few months ago, I bought this house that dates back to like 1850. I've been slowly removing the plaster and lath. You can see this bare wall behind me. And the result of that is collecting a lot of these old nails. Now, most reasonable people would probably just throw these away, but I took the time to take all the nails out of the old wood, saving the nails and the wood for something cool. I don't know what that's gonna look like yet, but we'll see. So a lot of people recommended making like a sculpture or putting these in a frame or something, and I wanna do that eventually, but my background's in visual art, so I wanna see if I can make a cool visual with a bunch of rusty nails. Step number one, gotta give them a rinse. So I have a vision of what I want to create here, but I have no idea how it's going to turn out. So I want to talk you through the shots. Shot number one is going to be macro. So I want to get the details of these old nails. One problem, I don't have a macro lens. This is going to sound crazy, but if you mount a lens backwards on a camera, it somehow turns into a macro lens. So I got this adapter that essentially lets me do what I'm talking about. So here's a normal lens, mount this onto the front, take the camera, just mount the lens backwards, and now you have a macro lens. Again, I have no idea how this works, but it's pretty cool. All right, here's the goofy setup for shot number one. We got our light, tripod. You actually can't focus this funky backwards lens, so it's all about the distance that you can't change. So it's super close, and check this out. Here's shot number two. We got the lens on in its normal direction, and I'm basically gonna just photograph a bunch of the nails, and then they'll like flash quickly to show the variety or something. I don't know, we'll see. All right, for this next shot, I wanna do like a stop motion thing with like a circle and all the nails like radiating out. So first step, we got to get the center of the frame with this circle master. Looks like right about there. Draw our guide circle, which hopefully won't be very visible on the video. All right, that should do. And then, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of put nails in there, take photos of them, and then they'll all like populate, and then I can speed ramp it, and we'll see what comes of this. All right, well, that was fun. I don't know, it was like 5 hours between shooting and editing, maybe a waste of time, but I thought it was kind of fun just that those nails were probably made by someone who lived through the Civil War. We're in the house for 150 years plus, and then all of a sudden they're in a YouTube video. Also, I want to thank everyone from my last video that picked up one of these Rowhome prints. They're still for sale, and just as a little added bonus, every print is going to ship with your very own rusty nail. So I don't know what you're gonna do with it. I don't know who's gonna want these, but you know, you're gonna have a little piece of my house. So now I gotta pack up and ship all these orders. And it really helps. I think the most stressful part of any home renovation is the finances. So to have you guys on YouTube that are supporting this project and helping make it possible, just through watching, through AdSense, and also of course through getting a print, I really appreciate it. I've lived in the city for nearly 10 years and I've never owned a car. So to get these prints to the post office, I use my handy backpacking bag little bungee cord, and let's see if I can get all these in one run. And then it's a quick like mile bike ride to the post office. And just like that, we're ready to go. I want to finish some of the demo we started last week and get rid of this plaster here, maybe start chipping away at the ceiling. Each week, as small as the progress might be, it's just nice to have the feeling that things are moving forward and things are getting done. So let's get to work here. Alright, with this round of demo, we opened up the cavity that's under the winder stair. I punched a hole through on that side already. Unfortunately, there's no little treasures in there. I was hoping for, I don't know, an empty beer can or something, but nothing in here. But the interesting thing is now we can see this beam, which I've talked about a lot. It's just fun to piece together the story a little bit more so we can see clearly that this beam is pocketed into the brick wall. It's this double thick beam that's supporting the brick above. And I noticed this crack here. And that is because, as we know in the bathroom here, the beam is basically non-existent. So essentially the beam that's not really bearing right there, the good section kind of ends over here. So the beam's actually bearing on this framing. So right here, there's a ton of load transfer, and of course we get cracking as a result of that. So just interesting to see. The plan here is basically to eliminate this cavity. I don't know why it was there in the first place. So like this stud and this stud will be removed, and then drywall would go onto this stud back here. And eventually, I don't know if I'm gonna do it the first time around, just because of codes, but I might do it later. I'd wanna like create a little window kind of like that shape. So the winder stairs have like light and connection to the main stairwell here. It seems like everyone in the comments agreed that it's a cool idea to save the lath. So every wall I take out has this extra step of taking out the nails and sorting through these. And here are a couple of my favorite ideas that you guys shared. One is just to do a beadboard. Probably in the bathroom, you know, it's kind of like a wainscoting, but you can imagine just a bunch of these side by side. And the weathered look of them could be actually kind of cool just to keep that, and then do like a polyurethane over it to finish it, but keep this kind of rustic, kind of powdered look from the plaster. Alternatively, it could be sanded down and stained and finished to look more like a finished product. But I think celebrating the history of it and celebrating the previous use is kind of what it's all about. So I might just keep them as is, essentially. And then you would do a nice like chair rail at the top. Another idea from the comments that would be really cool, but I'm not really sure if it would work, is essentially laminating several of these lath strips together like this and creating like a butcher block countertop with it. So you would glue them all up, clamp them, and then sand and finish the surface. I'm not really sure how it would look, how it would hold up. I think it's a little bit more risky than just using them like decoratively as beadboard because, you know, if they don't wear well in a kitchen, it's gonna get a lot of use. So I'm very excited for the phase of the project where I get to dig these back out of storage and do something really fun and cool with them. So stay tuned for that. Now I gotta continue the tedious process of removing all the nails for this great free material we have. Okay, we have another adventure. The opening event for the High Rises exhibition in Pittsburgh is tonight. So Morgan and I are driving out there, and we're gonna stay just one night and then come right back home. But it's a fun little road trip, hoping to see some fall colors out in central PA. driving back from the Pittsburgh event now. One of the highlights was that I got to meet a few subscribers who actually found the event through YouTube, so shout out to you guys. Now officially we're actually sold out of the book. We did keep a few of the first printing copies, so we had some for this event. We sold all that we had, so now it's officially out of stock, but you can pre-order it on the website still if you want to support the work and if you like Art Deco skyscrapers. The second printing will be available the first week of November. So with that, on to another week of working on the house, and unfortunately still just working with bureaucracy and trying to get all the pieces in place before hammers start really swinging. So thanks for watching.